Well, welcome back everybody, one and all. This is Richard Macintyre here, and this is part 5 of the Decca Salon 130 gramophone. And as before, this hopefully won't be too long a video. I thank you very much everyone for your comments, and one of the things I would really like to know is whether you want to have a video which is really near 60 minutes long, which can be too long for some people, or whether you prefer to have the shorter 10-15 minute videos that I normally upload I'm trying to do once a week. This week I'm going to do a couple of things. I had a request from Stuart Ellis, who would like to hear the Blue Danube Waltz, the version that I've got, the speaking version or sung version. So I'm going to play that for Stuart this afternoon, and I'm also going to do some reviews as well. Something I really would like to also know from you, or whether you like the camera angles I've been using on the gramophone, or whether you think they're too, the moving about bit. I know when I look at uploads on my YouTube subscribers that I'm subscribed to, that is, and they're showing me the records playing. One thing I do like is a bit of variety, rather than just watching the turntable go round and seeing the record on the turntable, as it were, with the arm coming across. It's nice to hear the music, but it's nice to see something visually, I think, as well. So I'd also like to know whether you think my videos have enough content in them, whether you think they're too disjointed, or whether they're too vague about anything at all, or whether you think there's too much there, they don't concentrate on the main subject matter. So I get an idea, because I try and make the videos as interesting as possible in that respect. Today's been an interesting day, actually. It's been really very, very cold. I think it's about 8 degrees. Yesterday, on the 16th of March, it was actually quite warm. It was 10 degrees, which is quite warm. I went running yesterday morning with just summer outfit type of stuff on, and I even gave my cars a bit of a polish and doing bits on there. So and next week I'm taking Passio, my 124 Spider, to be retuned, having the engine retuned, which should produce a little bit more BHP. And in the summer I'll be doing a full video review of that car, and also I'm going to Festival Italia at Brands Hatch, so hopefully there'll be some footage of that as well. And later on the year, today I've been planning for my hike visit to Ennerdale in the Lake District, which I'm going to over the Easter break. So that should be fun. Some 357 miles one direction, and 6 hours, just over 6 hours. So quite a long journey from me down in Kent all the way up to the lakes. And I was doing some work on the stops that I'll be doing on the trip, and what I need to, making sure that I was ticking off my list. There's about 30 of us going all together and staying over the weekend and going hiking round Wainwright's country, so it should be really lovely. I've done the lakes before, but not that part of it, so I'm really looking forward to that. And if you've had an experiences at all around the lakes at all, then I'd love to hear from you and hear what your experiences have been. Eberdale is a lake itself, and we're staying at the scouting community there, the scout centre there, which should be really good, and I'm really looking forward to that. Got my new tent, got all my stuff to go, so that should be something really exciting. So I'm going to just switch camera around so that you can, now I'm going to do a review of a couple of DVDs that one I watched yesterday and one from the past. So I thought we'd do DVDs in terms of current reviews, and then some classics that I've been watching, and what you think of those. But if you're interested to know what you think about that as well. So I'm just going to turn you off for a second, and then we'll be back. Right, so a slight change of plan, and may I give a big shout out to Stuart Ellis 2006, because on the original upload of this video that you've been watching up until this point, suddenly the camera decided to go into slow-mo and mode, and everything was slowing down. So rather than allow you to suffer slow motion for what seemed like an age, I'm going to redo this part of the video. So I'm very grateful to Stuart Ellis 2006, and in fact Stuart Ellis actually, Stuart actually asked for a request. So the request is the Blue Daniel Vocal Waltz Part 1 and Part 2. And so it's with the BBC Wireless Choir and Orchestra conducted by Stanford Robinson. So Stuart, I do hope you enjoy that. I know you've already commented, and thank you for that. And thank you so much for letting me know. I normally watch my content back. I did. I must have missed that section thinking it was probably going to be okay. And on that post. So in fact, I won't be reviewing the DVDs I said I was going to do. The ones on the original, if you did get to watch that, was Valkyrie and Tom Cruise in Valkyrie, and the other ones, Mission Impossible. I've actually given them out to my good friend Tom at work, so he's currently got that, or it's going around my team, Richard's Library I call it, and because I share those, because once you watch them once you can probably do without them for a long time until you want to come back, or if you do ever. So on that basis, so I'm not going to do that this afternoon. One thing I have watched though, which I thought I'd actually talk to you about, is a couple of other DVDs, and that's this one, which is Bohemian Rhapsody. Now this is a really good film. It's obviously about Freddie Mercury and his life, so it's a bit of a biop, and certainly worth a watch. Actually, I'll certainly give it a 10 out of 10 on Richard's watch list. And it actually contains the original Live Aid performance as well, and complete Live Aid performance not seen in cinemas, it says here, which I haven't actually got round to watching. So that's certainly a 10 out of 10 as well. So that was very good. And so the stars in this are, I think, where are we? It's who the star. I can't see them on here, but there's some well-known actors in this film, and Rami Malek's in this as Freddie Mercury, and so yes, and so it's really worth a good film, and certainly give that one a thumbs up, big thumbs up. That's good. The other one I've watched actually is Children's Act. Okay, so Emma Thompson's in this, and Stanley Tucci, is pronounced that, and Fiona Whitehead. This film revolves around the relationship this High Court judge, British High Court judge, has with her husband, and the moral dilemma that she faces with a young man who has leukemia, and because of his religious conviction, his parents actually don't allow him to have a blood transfusion because he's a Jehovah's Witness, and she takes the unusual act of actually visiting him in hospital and having a chat with him about that. And then anyway, I won't spoil the end for you, but it's certainly worth watching. It's by the best-selling novel by Ian McEwan, and I think it certainly gets a 10 out of 10 from me. The word Children's Act was interesting because I work within the health and social care sector, and it actually does relate to minors under the Children's Act. So it seemed a bit of a dry subject at first, and actually when you get into it, it's actually a very good film. So that definitely gets a 10 out of 10 from me on the thumbs up, that one. So that's good. That's the back cover there, and that's really good actually. Good. So they're the only two I'm going to review. I'll do Mission Impossible next time because it would probably come back. Tom would have probably given it back to me, and on that basis. So anyway, that's those. And then in the charity shop on the same video, I found a few EPs. I'm a great fan of EPs. I play a lot of these, and so this one's Fred Astaire, Shoes with Wings on, and several other numbers on the MGM label, Extended 45. That's a very good, certainly a very nice record. The next one is this one, a couple of things. It's Dancing Time for Dancers, Quick Steps, and on the HMV, and also Tiptoe Through the Tulips with Joe Loss. Okay, both with Joe Loss. But I liked the cover this one came in, if I can get these records to stand up, in terms of new hit tunes. And I just wondered whether anyone actually ever won the Sunbeam Alpine sports car first prize, or the second prize of the Lambretta scooter, or the third prize of a magnificent stereo radiogram. But I quite liked the cover on this. So, and there's even a singer competition on the back there, and it's all by the drinks company Cherry B, which was quite popular there. It says Sparkling Cherry B, gay, bubbly, vivacious. Vivacious, which I thought was quite interesting at the bottom there. So yeah, so that's quite a good one. Dancing for Any Party, Harry Leader and his orchestra. I quite like Harry Leader. So again, I quite like the graphics on this one. Put that one back in there. So Harry Leader there. Cokie Cokie, the Paris Glide, St Bernard's Waltz and Valletta. So quite nice, that one. So there we go. There's Harry Leader there. Nice picture of him with his bow spectacles, looking very, very BBC-like, isn't he? Hey, there, don't you think? Right, okay. That's an extended play. The next one is The Shadows. Now, I've already got a Shadows EP that I've got outside in the workshop, and the boys are on this album. So what are we on this EP? So Mustang, theme from Shane. Obviously, that's the TV series, and Shotgun, theme from The Giant as well. So yeah, so it's quite a good, very nice as well. A View to Kill, and of course more up-to-date version this is, The View to Kill, and I like this one because when you take the record out you have a picture of James Bond on there, and then we've got here Duran Duran, of course, did the A View to Kill. And then the B-side is The Fatal Kiss, again by John Barry and Duran Duran. And so that's quite good. I quite like that because it had, even inside the cover, it's got these, look, 2 bullets there. They're very James Bond. And of course the famous shot that you get at the beginning of the credits with the blood pouring down over the screen. So yeah, so quite nice, that one. Ken Dodd, Happiness. This is a famous Ken Dodd number. Happiness, all my life. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. And Fools Rush In. That's quite a nice number there. And he's surrounded by these ladies. Looks like it's in the back of a theatre area that photograph was taken. Happiness, kick, 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 hop, and foot behind. Somebody's written on there. And somebody's also annotated on here. No Patricia something on there. And then said, Fools Rush In, very nice. I always like people's comments on these records. Adds a bit of interest there. This one is Andrei Skogovia. I'm not very good at pronunciation sometimes. He plays Bark. That's very nice on the Bravo Records label. So that's very good. There we go, backside of that one. And then Urine, Songs of Urine, is that? Number 2 by Mary O'Hara. So Irish. Where the Weaving Song, The Quiet Land of Iran, and Alleluia Nara Jama, is that the button there? She Moved Through the Fair. So, and the B side of that one. There we go, on mono. And then famous John McCormack. I really like John McCormack. Snowy Braided Pearl, Catherine Maureen, Boys of Wexford, and God Save Ireland. Not God Save the Queen, but God Save Ireland. There we go. There we are. That's the back of that. 1884, John McCormack was born, and he died in 1945. So he left us quite a legacy of beautiful songs. And then again, John McCormack, The Holy Child, Ava Maria, and Panasingeligus there. So there we are. There we go, backside of that one. And then The Dancing Mood, Eric Jupp. And I've got an album of his, of Eric. He does some really nice music. This is again a very nice EP. There we go. Eric Jupp and his orchestra. There we go. And then last not least, Matt Monro. So I Have Dreamed. That's very nice on the mono label. Who Can I Turn To? Love is a Many Splendid Thing. And Exodus and I Have Dreamed. So there we go. And that's the backside of that one. There we go. So very nice little, just a capture there of some records I've got recently. Obviously it's now the 14th of April and several weeks later since I recorded this original video, and I apologise for the lateness of that. Heading towards the weekend, next weekend, that's when I'll be setting off on Good Friday to the Lake District and camping out over that. So hopefully take you with me on that journey, see how much footage I can get. But now I'll pass you back to the original next section of this video, and thanks for watching. Right, so I've just turned the camera around. So last time on part 4 about the Decca Salon 130, I was talking about sticking down the edges of the inner part of the lid. So this is the lid, you're looking at it lying on the bench here, and then this edge here was the bit I stuck down. This is now stuck down quite firmly. There are the occasional places that might need a bit of glue, but I think overall I think I'm going to leave it now, because that seems to have done its job. I left my very heavy clamp on that over the week, and that seems to have done its job with the weight on there, and using that vise just shown you so on that part. So that's that bit. Last time I reviewed was that I put all the main parts of the gramophone back together, so that's all as it was before. And this time I'm going to give this tone arm, this is the tone arm, I'm going to give this a final polish with some silver and brasso, and then I'm going to paint this piece at the bottom here. You can see there, this part of the, I don't know what you call that part there, but allows the arm to rotate, and that fits on here like so. And there's another plate that fits underneath it, and then what I should do is paint that in gloss black, because that's all seemed to have come off when I cleaned it up. And then I shall then put some fresh grease into the ball race underneath, and then we'll be putting that back on the main part of the gramophone. And then the lid, this part that I've just been talking to you about, will be the last part that goes back on again, along with the hinges and the other bits and pieces that go with that, so which are lying around somewhere. Oh yes, over here. Let me just move this out of the way. So there we go, I've got to put the last bits on. That's the hinge that goes around the back here. So that goes here, and this plate here is the one that the tone arm sits on. So this sits first of all on the here like so, and then this bit fits over the top like that. So that basically ensures that the sound is directed straight down into the double reflex horn, which I've explained before in the video. So and then the other bits will be that we've got to fix back on the brake mechanism, which connects very nicely under here, and then that allows that to turn off. But that's a little bit of a job to do, and I should do that and then reconnect and show you how far we've got with that. So that's all for today, I think. Been quite a busy week otherwise, and busy weekend. As I say, the weather's changed quite dramatically from yesterday to today. It's actually been quite cold outside. We've actually had some hail. I thought I'd play out though with this record, and this is by You Will Remember by Anne Ziegler and Webster Booth. I'm a very fan of Webster Booth and Anne Ziegler, and this is a particularly nice copy I've got on the HMV label B9177. So until next time, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you like what you see. Also, don't forget to comment and press the bell, and I'll see you on the next video.
life's grey December, the same as I love you today. My heart ever young will remember the thrill it knew that day in May.
Well, so we're now at the stage where I'm going to paint the plinth for the tone arm, and as you can see, I've rubbed all of the old paint off here, and I'm going to use some of this this Weather Shield, Dulux Weather Shield paint. And my thoughts are on this one that just to paint up to that edge, so there's sort of still a little bit of shininess that will complement the tone arm there. So because I think the gloss paint, the gloss black paint, will actually look quite good on that. So so that's my next move. So there we are. I've painted that right up to the line, and I think that looks quite good. I don't know what you think, but it's certainly better than it was, and contrasts the black against the Rexon of the cabinet. So I'm going to leave that now to, if I can, says he, to dry, and then I'll come back to you all and see the next stage on. So what I've done now is the paint has dried, and I've now put the plinth and the tone arm, which is this bit here, back onto the bifold horn with the 3 screws, as you can see that. I think you can just about see that there. So that's okay, and reconnected the brake mechanism, which is here, this bit here. You can see where my screwdriver is, and I'll demonstrate that when we get to the playing stage of the restoration of this Decca gramophone. The other thing is that the turntable we're looking at is the original one. Unfortunately, there's a little bit of I don't know what. I think somebody's tried to stick this back, and because the stretching of the velvet often needs a special tool. I use just a very thin knife to push these back. I've actually got a second one which I think looks better. So this is the one I've had in the workshop kicking around. I've given it a bit of a clean, and the actual side of it actually is the chromium is much better. So I think that adds an upgrade really for the whole thing. I'll keep the other one in the because I've got some other gramophones to repair, so they could probably use these as a spare. But I think that looks quite good. The braking mechanism, I'll explain about that. But the main thing is that this lever here, this one here, is the one that determines when the tone arm gets so far across and then triggers brake to there you go, the brake to trigger. So for example, if it was running now, there you go, you hear it click on and it immediately stops, and I'll explain what this plunger does here. And it's quite a clever mechanism, I think. So because different records have different run-out grooves, and in fact some of them don't have a run-out groove that triggers automatic brakings or lift-off for if you've got an electronic machine running that way. But this machine actually would cover that, will cope with that. So even ones with just a continuous run-out groove, it will be fine. So on that basis, but anyway, that's that little bit. Right, now you can see the brake mechanism a little bit clearly, because I've removed the turntable and how that operates. So as the you can just about see how that goes across there. You've got this a little bit of leather pad here, which stops the turntable going around the inside of the turntable. Let me show you that. So there's the inside, so it would actually stop here on the inside there, and it's triggered by, as I say, by this lever here, and when this comes across. So, and I'll show how that works. Quite a clever, I think it's an extremely ingenious, innovative system for the age of this machine. But there we go on that one. The actual speed adjustment I'll have to make just to check that it's still running at 78. And I've got what I've got to do now is actually paint the winding handle in a bit of black paint, just to bring that up and give this a bit of a clean with some chromium cleaner or brass, or use similar stuff, just to give that a clean. And then I've got the lid to put back on again, which should be interesting. And then I've got to rebuild the sound box, so I'll be doing that as well. So you'll be coming with me on that journey. I must say that if you've followed me so far on this video broadcast, then well done, because it's been a bit of a tour de force. I think we're running at 27 more minutes now, so well done. And I hope you found it interesting as well, so do let me know that. But as I say, so we'll finish this particular video here, and then obviously the next part I'll be back to you with some more. So anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to push the like button and also the little bell so that you know when I'm broadcasting next. And as they always say, I'll see you on the next one.